road trip on a budget from Anchorage to Dead Horse and back really begins just outside of Fairbanks, at the start of the Dalton Highway. A mostly unpaved road created as a haul route for truck drivers working the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. This time, an opportunity and a challenge for a pair of reporters, too. Get up and down the historic highway in 5 days for less than $400.
Man, I wish I had brought some chips.
That would break our budget.
A car crammed with gear, $70 worth of groceries, and a full tank of gas. Our first day is packed with adventure. A stop at a tiny shop hidden near the Yukon River.
The first was just pellets over tire rims. And then I went to a screen tent. And then 1 year, about 2011, they said I could put up this little shop. So I almost want to start a book on what came up this road because it's quite different.
A drive through fire country where helicopters and their crews await assignments. And a visit to the edge of the Arctic Circle, which just so happens to be under construction.
We came up and there was a hole in the deck. So what was about 3 days ago, we patched the hole and then we went to Fairbanks and just got new lumber, so we're replacing the whole deck.
But the nearby campground was truly untouched, making for a sweet spot to try and have a rest before another big day ahead.
What a delicious meal.
Just think we have 4 more days of eating this.
And as for that shut-eye,
How would you describe your sleep?
nothing a little instant coffee can't fix. We begin our second day taking our time checking out some side road sights and sounds. Gobbler's Knob, the Koyukuk River, all on the way to a stop at mile 175 of the Dalton Highway, Coldfoot, which consistently welcomes travelers of all kinds.
I was driving down the highway and a guy passed me by in like a little sedan with a giant wheelbarrow strapped to the top, and it's like, I don't know what this guy is doing, but this is an area where people with unusual ideas can come to explore.
Inside, an Arctic oasis for truck drivers, and outside, a solid chunk of time and money spent to fill up.
Am I an idiot? I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? The pump wasn't on.
We then check in with some fellow travelers, all with good things to say.
Just come and see Alaska, it's great. I highly recommend it.
And it's back to the pipeline and our journey north. Being on the no-plan plan, we add some extra drive time, still following the pipeline, treading carefully through Adigan Pass. Eventually finding a spot to stop for dinner and, again, try to get some shut-eye.
We work with 3 meteorologists and we didn't think to ask what the weather would be like. It snowed here this morning, it snowed here this afternoon. It could snow again.
This time with a few extra layers.
The tundra and permafrost is quite hard. You know, hurts on the joints a little bit. But I think it was a better night's sleep than I expected.
Day 3, destination Dead Horse. And a visit with some caribou on our way there.
That was wild.
Yeah, this is so cool.
This industrial camp was designed as support for the Prudhoe Bay oil fields. As it's been for most of our trip, few amenities for the public.
Yeah, we got some
Oh yeah!
barbecue chips, an apple, and it looks like strawberry yogurt. So $7, so we're still under budget.
There is, however, a gas station that's somewhat easier to navigate than the last.
Hey!
$5.38 a gallon.
But no shuttle for our run to the Arctic Ocean.
The Arctic shuttle isn't running, but yeah, we did it. We're at the end of the Dalton Highway.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Bring it in.
If you thought our trip ended when the highway did, though, you thought wrong.
So we have just left Dead Horse. Almost 500 miles to Fairbanks. What are we doing next?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I think we're trying to play it by ear. I think we're gonna
Ride the wave.
have to go for a swim somewhere because we didn't get to go in the Arctic Ocean.
The only guide is following the pipeline, and we're even still on budget. So we hit the road again for the ride back down the Dalton. First up, a better view of the bluffs near where we'd spent the night in below freezing temps. A quick stop at Happy Valley, a private camp where we ran into manager Kyle, the only long-term resident here.
Really, kind of anything can happen, really. I like, my kind of thing is helicopters and airplanes, and so I get to work with those two here. And I like the outdoors, and I like being out here, you know.
We return to tracking the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, our constant companion, and pull over to visit with truck drivers about their Dalton Highway, the one truly built just for them.
It's just a rough road to drive in the summer. In the wintertime, it's completely different. When you're hitting 14% grade, these tankers were running 115,000 pounds. You know, catching the sun off the mountain at a certain time where it's only lighting up the top half, or, you know, giving you the sun rays or something. But the colors out here, I've just never seen them anywhere else.
Good chats, great views as we trek on toward Galbraith Lake. And several fellow visitors.
The road is much better. The road was really pretty rough back then, and all gravel. Not far from here is where I had my record of over 60 mosquitoes in one swat.
Kurt knows this road from working on the pipeline, and Allison, like us, is on the highway for the first time.
It's right about what I expected. And of course, I would always appreciate fewer bugs.
But for that, you can spend the night nestled somewhere between the gates of the Arctic and the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge.
24-hour daylight. It's great.
We thought we'd introduce you to one of our new discoveries. Canned peaches.
They're very good. Who would have thought?
Another night under the midnight sun.
And a book. And because it's 24-hour sunlight, we can read for as long as we like. Sleep.
We have woken up on day 4. Day 4, right? I think we're gonna go fishing, explore a little more, maybe hit up Coldfoot for a burger.
But first,
We are headed to Galbraith Lake, which is just over there. And inside we've been told, inside the lake, we've been told there are trout, burbot, and Arctic grayling.
Yay! Oops. I'm fishing in Galbraith Lake. Woohoo!
okay, so neither of us managed to land lunch.
The bird might be getting some fish.
Then there's the task of changing a flat tire, at least for Sean.
I'm doing it in a star pattern. It's the best way to ensure that the tag goes on right. So you do one, and then another, and then another, and another, and another. Ow!
Then it's back on the road, heading for one of our favorite highway highlights, Adigan Pass.
We're heading up Adigan Pass, which is one of the most picturesque parts of the Dalton Highway.
It really is. It really is.
Gorgeous.
The scenery, stunning. The roads, wet, rocky, and muddy. But the sun would come back and shine in no time.
Have now crossed the Continental Divide, and now we're back on the Anchorage side.
And just a bit beyond that,
We have arrived at Coldfoot. Again.
We're here! Yay!
We're here. We're wearing our masks because there are lots of people wandering around, and we certainly cashed in on the opportunity to get some homemade style food.
It was delicious. We ate burgers, I ate some chicken tenders. I feel a little bit sick.
we swung through Marion Campground to see what was there, and although the host was a character,
Having fun talking to people. This year's especially fun because the people are Alaskans coming through.
we decided we wanted to get a little further down the road before setting up camp. Out in the sunshine, we find those beauty shots of the famed pipeline. Our hunt for a campsite, on the other hand, taking a bit more time.
It's getting late.
What's 11 p.m. in the land of the midnight sun?
My bedtime.
We stopped by Finger Mountain and several sites that looked like they'd work, but in the end, it was the mighty Yukon River that called us back. And in the morning, an energizing wake-up.
I'm dipping my toes into the Yukon. And Sean's taking a little further.
Go for a little Yukon swim.
Frolicking. Oh!
Just 55 miles left to the southern end of the highway, still on budget and on schedule. We had to check out the pipeline a few more times. And of course, get one or two last photos with the Dalton Highway sign before the last long leg to Anchorage.
From the Dalton Highway, I'm Beth Verge.
And I'm Maguire, and we're reporting for Channel 2 News.